Okay, we'll go ahead and get started now. Um, Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you all enjoyed playing the conservation wordle of the day and were able to guess the word. So welcome. Thanks for joining us for another lunchtime webinar series on finding and fixing leaks in honor of Fix a Leak Week. My name is Giselle Delgadillo, and I am a water use efficiency specialist at Alameda County Water District, and I will be your host today for this webinar. And you'll be able to meet other members of the water use efficiency team here at ACWD the rest of the week. We're all taking turns hosting. So for today's topic, for today's webinar, we'll be focusing on how to fix a toilet leak. And later on this week, we'll cover faucets and shower heads and irrigation systems. So first, I'd like to provide a little bit of background on Fix a Leak Week and explain a bit about why we are hosting these webinars this week. So Alameda County Water District, or ACWD, has been an environmental protection agency, or EPA, WaterSense promotional partner for over 7 years. And we're really happy to promote their national Fix a Leak Week campaign because it brings awareness to the importance of finding and fixing leaks. Water is a precious resource and leaks are a big water waster. And reducing leaks and water waste is especially important right now due to dry conditions that we're experiencing locally and statewide. In fact, ACWD declared a water shortage emergency in December 2021 due to constraints on several of our water supplies and concerns about continuing dry conditions into 2022 and beyond. As you may have heard, we are in another drought and preventing water waste is crucial right now. So for today's program, we'll first go over the format of the webinar, then we'll provide some background on ACWD, our water use efficiency programs, our drought actions, including what is restricted right now and how to get more information about the drought from our team. And then we'll show a few how-to videos from other EPA WaterSense partners. And at the end, we'll have some time for questions. So first, just some logistics regarding Zoom. So all attendees are in listen only mode, but we do encourage you to ask questions if you have them. So if you do have questions, please put them in the Q&A box and we will answer them to the best of our ability after we show the EPA promotional partner video clips. And if needed, closed captioning is available if you select the live transcript button that's at the bottom on your Zoom toolbar. So first, I'll start off by providing some brief background on Alameda County Water District. ACWD was founded in 1914, and we serve about 357,000 customers and have over 84,000 connections. And the district serves residents and businesses of Fremont, Newark, and Union City. ACWD has a diverse water supply portfolio. Our typical water supplies include the Alameda Creek watershed, which is local water supply, and imported water supply from the State Water Project and the San Francisco Public Utilities Commission Hetch Hetchy system. So ACWD offers a number of water use efficiency programs for our residential customers. On this slide, you'll see all of our different rebate programs listed, including a turf removal rebate. We currently offer $2 per square foot of lawn that customers remove and replace with water efficient landscaping. So as mentioned, ACWD declared a water shortage emergency and adopted an ordinance adopting mandatory water use restrictions, regulations, and guidelines. And we adopted this ordinance because we anticipated that ordinary water use demand will be approximately 15% greater than available water supply levels in 2022. And this ordinance was developed to achieve a 15% reduction through mandatory conservation measures. The ordinance does not require efficient customers to reduce by 15%, but it does require that all customers stop water waste, minimize irrigation, and curb other non-essential uses. So we wanted to highlight the irrigation restrictions that are currently in place because that's a big part of the ordinance. So on the slide here, you'll see the irrigation schedule that's outlined in our ordinance. So for the months of March through May, only 1 irrigation day per week is allowed, and that will increase to 2 days per week for the summer months of June through September. There are a number of water uses that are prohibited by the ordinance, including runoff from irrigation. I won't go into a lot of detail about each specific prohibition. You can find all this information on our website, including a copy of the actual ordinance as well. So if you want to learn more about what exactly is restricted, you can check that out, and we'll provide the link. So there are certain water uses that are prohibited and others that are not restricted by the ordinance. So for example, irrigating with drip irrigation is not restricted. The irrigation restrictions really apply to irrigation that's over surface, so sprinkler heads. And as mentioned, you can find all of this information outlined on our website. So all of the mandatory water use restrictions, a copy of the ordinance, and information about our rebate programs can be found at acwd.org/drought. And another important component of our ordinance is minimizing water waste. And this is where members of the community can really help us. So if you witness water waste in the service area in your neighborhood, please report it to our water use efficiency team. And you can do so by filling out the online form at acwd.org/report waste and providing some information about what you witnessed and where you witnessed it. So this is really helpful in making us aware about water waste that's occurring in our service area and making sure that we, begin the process to address it as soon as possible. So now we can go to the main part of today's webinar, which is showcasing the WaterSense promotional partner how-to videos. So first, just a quick disclaimer about these videos. They were created by other WaterSense promotional partners, so we thank them for their contribution. The instructions in these videos are general guidelines. ACWD is not responsible for any damage to your home, landscape, or appliances that occur from following the procedures in these videos. If you have concerns doing any of this work yourself, you may wish to seek the services of a professional plumber or contractor. This video presentation is general in nature and is not intended to be an exhaustive review of the subject matter. The presentation information and materials are provided as a courtesy to participants and are not endorsed by ACWD. So in a nutshell, some of these tips and techniques for finding and fixing leaks can be a bit tricky. So please seek the help of a professional plumber or contractor if you are not comfortable doing this work yourself. All right, so our first video of the day is titled Potty Talk 301, Diagnosing Toilet Leaks, and it's produced by Molten Niguel Water District. So please sit back and enjoy.
Hi everyone, this is Greg with Molten Niguel Water District. This is Potty Talk 301. In this video, we're going to show you how to diagnose toilet leaks. This includes checking for a running fill valve, adjusting the water level in the tank, and performing the toilet dye tap test. Before you start the process of checking for a running fill valve, you'll want to make sure the bathroom exhaust fan isn't running because the ambient sound of a bathroom fan can drown out the sound of a slowly running fill valve. Next, you'll want to take the lid off the toilet tank to allow the sound to get out of the tank because the porcelain lid is very good at masking the sound of a slowly running fill valve with the lid on the tank. So be aware it's not enough just to stick your head through the bathroom door. The lid needs to be removed from the toilet tank in order to hear the hissing sound of a slowly running fill valve. We're going to demonstrate how to check and adjust the water level down in the toilet tank. If it is set too high, this will cause the water to run down the overflow tube. But before we do that, the manufacturers recommend the water level to be set 1/2 to 1 inch below the top of the overflow tube. So if you find that your water level is set too high in the tank, you'll want to use the adjustment screw to adjust the water level down in the tank. To do this, you'll want to get into your toilet tank, and this adjustment screw right here, you're going to want to turn that counterclockwise several turns, which in turn will push the external float down, which will cause the water to shut off sooner. So after you've made a couple of full turns counterclockwise, you'll want to empty a little water out of the tank to allow the tank to fill back up to see where the water level stops. Okay, as you can see, the water level is still too high. So we're going to need to turn this adjustment screw counterclockwise several more turns to bring that float level down a little more. That was about 4 complete turns. Open the flapper a little bit to drop the water level in the tank to allow the tank to start refilling. Okay, that looks pretty good. We're going to leave the water level at that. So we adjusted the external float in the toilet tank, which will allow the tank to shut off and not run continuously. The water level is now set at 1 inch below the top of the overflow tube, which is what the manufacturer recommends for this particular brand of toilet. Next, we're going to do the toilet dye test to check to see if the flapper is leaking. To perform this test, we're going to put a toilet dye strip into the toilet tank and allow it to dissolve. Then we're going to look to see if any of the blue dye from the toilet tank seeps into the bowl. If it does, you have a bad flapper seal and need to replace it. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this dye strip into the tank and let it dissolve. If you do the toilet dye test like this, you don't necessarily have to use toilet dye strips. You can also use toilet dye tablets or blue food coloring. You can also use green food coloring. However, do not use red food coloring because I've heard the red food coloring will stain the porcelain on the toilet. As you can see, there's blue dye seeping into the bowl without the toilet having been flushed, which tells us there's a bad flapper. So we need to get a new flapper, and that will prevent this toilet from cycling every 20 minutes or every 2 hours, whatever the case happens to be with your particular toilet leak. Thank you for watching.
All right, that was the first video. So let's go ahead and watch the second video of the day, which is entitled Potty Talk 401, Replacing Leaky Flappers and Fill Valves.
Hi everyone, this is Greg with AlamedaCountyWater District. This is Potty Talk 301. In this video, we're going to show you how to diagnose toilet leaks. This includes checking for a running fill valve, adjusting the water level in the tank, and performing the toilet dye tap test.
Oops, I did not move on to the next one. Sorry about that. All right, this is the video.
Hi everyone, this is Greg. Welcome to AlamedaCountyWater District's Potty Talk 401. In this video, we'll teach you how to replace a leaky flapper and running fill valve. With regard to flappers, there's really only 2 types. There's the bulb type flapper and the piston type of flapper. The thing to keep in mind with the bulb type flapper is that they are not all the same. Some of them have a different diameter than the other. If you'll notice, this in my left hand has a larger diameter than the one in my right hand. There are some universal flappers out there that work quite well, but they do not work in all applications. The best thing to do when you're replacing the flapper in your toilet is to look for the make and model, which is typically stamped in the porcelain inside your toilet tank, or some of the manufacturers will have a sticker on the inside of the lid that will give you the make and model, and that way you can be sure to get the correct flapper. So to replace the flapper, you're going to disconnect the flapper chain from your trip lever rod. Pop the flapper ears off of the arms of the flush valve tube. Installing the new flapper is just the reverse of the removal process. Next, you're going to connect the flapper ears onto the arms of the flush valve. We have to shorten the chain a little bit because on this particular application, the chain's a little bit too long. You don't want to leave your chain too long because it can get trapped underneath the flapper and can cause your toilet to run. So just be aware of that. Then reconnect the chain to the trip lever rod. And that's how you replace the flapper. With regard to the piston type flapper, you have to disassemble the piston to pop the flush valve gasket off of the flush valve assembly to make sure you match the diameter of the flush valve gasket when you go to buy the new one. It's a fairly simple operation, but just a little bit different than the bulb type flapper replacement. With regard to the fill valves, there's only 3 types of fill valves on the market. One is the external float, which slides on the vertical tube. The second type of fill valve has an internal float inside this rectangular box. And the third type and most common type of fill valve is this old style bulb on the arm. This is the most common type of fill valve that leaks. Okay, in this portion of the video, we're going to replace the fill valve. Obviously, this is a demonstration toilet. So in your practical application, what you're going to want to do is turn the water off to the toilet down at the shutoff valve, also known as the angle stop on the wall. Shut the water off, drain the majority of the water out of the toilet tank by flushing the toilet. That will drain the bulk of the water out. You still will have an inch or so remaining in the tank. You'll want to have some sort of a bucket or pan to catch the remaining water. Once that's been done, go ahead and pull your tube off, the overflow tube of the toilet tank. Take a pair of pliers and remove the retainer nut off the bottom side of the fill valve and the tank. Set the old fill valve out and reinstall the new fill valve. There was some pre-assembly on this. Put the retainer nut back on to the fill valve on the bottom side of the tank. Slip your overflow tube onto the fill valve, slip the other end onto the retainer clip and reconnect it to the overflow tube on the toilet tank and turn your water back on at the wall very slowly and let the tank fill up. Make sure that when you adjust your water level, it remains about 1/2 to 1 inch below the top of the overflow tube. And you're done. Thank you for watching the Molten Go.
All right. So those were our 2 featured videos of the day. Just wanted to make a couple of notes about them. Alameda County Water District does offer some resources that were mentioned in the video, such as the toilet leak detection dye tablets. So we'll put a link in the chat to our free water conservation kits that we offer that include 2 toilet leak detection dye tablets, as you saw in the video, that you can use to help diagnose whether your toilet has a leak. We also offer flappers. If you're interested in one of those, please contact us. At our information that's on the screen, you can either email us or give us a call, and we'll be happy to work with you to get you that resource. Just another quick note about finding and fixing leaks in general. So ACWD is installing advanced metering infrastructure and smart meters in the entire service area over the next 2 years. And there are about 10% of these meters already out there. So some of you may be some of the lucky ones that already have one. So eventually ACWD customers will have access to a customer portal where you can set up your own leak alerts, track your consumption, and find information about the district's water use efficiency programs. And these new meters and portal will be really helpful for finding and fixing leaks in your home. So look out for more information in the near future about these meters. And if you have questions right now, please feel free to contact us and we'll try to answer your question to the best of our ability. So just to conclude, it's very important to find and fix leaks, especially during a drought. And we have a lot of more resources on our website at acwd.org/fix leaks and acwd.org/drought, as well as more resources on the Environmental Protection Agency's website. So my colleague Roxanne will be putting links to those websites in the chat box so that you have easy access to them and can check those out. And if you have any questions after this webinar is over, please feel free to contact our water use efficiency team at the phone or email on the screen. But if there are any questions right now, please go ahead and put them in the Q&A box, and then we will do our best to answer them. So please put your questions in the Q&A box if you have them. You can take a couple. Got one question. Got a couple questions coming in. Can you please confirm the email address? Is it ending .com or .org? It's .com. So water.cons@acwd.com. All right, the next question. Does ACWD help fix toilet wax ring issue? Great question. So if you're asking whether we can, send someone to help you out with that issue, unfortunately we can't. You would have to contact a professional plumber to help you with that. We are unable to send anyone to help you with that. If there are any more questions, please put them in the Q&A box. Another question, can you also include all the website links when you email us, please? Yes, we will make sure to send you the links to the website resources in the follow-up email that we send you. So if there are no questions, no more questions, we can conclude today's webinar. Or feel free to type in one last question real quickly as I'm concluding. So thank you for joining us today. We're running up on time, but again, if you have any more questions that you think of after this webinar, please send them to our water use efficiency team by emailing us or giving us a call on the number and email on this slide. Please tune in tomorrow and Friday to meet other members of our water use efficiency team and for more how-to video clips and resources. And if you can't join us for the rest of this week, or you missed a webinar from earlier this week, you'll be able to access the recordings later from our acwd.org/fixleaks webpage. So we'll be posting the recordings as well as the direct links to the videos that we showcased during the webinar. So when the webinar ends, a survey will pop up in your browser. We'll also send it in a link via the follow-up email that we'll send you. We would really, really appreciate it if you could fill out the survey for us. If you provide your mailing address through the survey and you live in our service area, we will send you a free gift for registering for this event. And this gift will help you find and fix leaks in your home. So thank you very much for joining us again, and we hope to see you tomorrow at the same time, 12 p.m., and you can use the same Zoom link to log on. All right, thank you, everybody, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.